Star Wars fans, it happened again. We've been waiting for so long now for the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. We finally get it, and all we can do as Star Wars fans is complain. But do we have the right to complain? Is there a real problem with the Grand Inquisitor's look? Let's get right into all of it right now. What's up guys, Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. So today we're talking about the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. You either like him or you don't. Again, Star Wars fanbase, completely 50-50 split as always. You either hate something or you love something. There's really no in between. Before we get into any of this, I absolutely loved the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. I can't say that enough. I loved it so much. I can't even put it into words how much I love this Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. But there's just one thing that always splits the fanbase, and it's the Grand Inquisitor in this case. And I'm sure you've seen all the memes, I'm sure you've seen all these people making fun of the Grand Inquisitor, and I'm sure you've tried to back him up and been like, no, this looks good, or you're like, yeah, this looks stupid. But we're actually going to talk about this like civil human beings and actually have a great conversation about what is actually going on with the Grand Inquisitor. Why does he look so weird? What is actually going on here, and what is the real problem with the Grand Inquisitor's look in this Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer? Some people are trying to back up the Grand Inquisitor's appearance by saying that when Ahsoka Tano first appeared in live action and Cad Bane first appeared in live action, all Star Wars fans could do was, again, complain. Because that's all we do as Star Wars fans. We have to be split on everything. There has to be somebody who's very pro-Ahsoka Tano's first live action appearance, and people who are very anti-Ahsoka Tano's first live action appearance. Same thing with Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett, which is more recent. With Ahsoka Tano, it was her leku are too short, it was that she doesn't sound the same, it was that she doesn't look the same, it was that blah 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 blah. With Cad Bane, it was his face is too light, his face is too short, his hat is too small, his voice is too cool, his awesomeness is too awesome. All we could do is complain about those, but those are completely different things. Those are very, very, very different things. Because first of all, Ahsoka Tano, one of my all-time favorite characters, maybe not yours, but her coming into live action at all is just epic, and I think Rosario Dawson has done a perfect job with her. Even if the leku are too short, not everything in animation is going to be the same. Everybody brings up the Count Dooku versus Count Dooku, and it is a valid point. Count Dooku looks nothing like Count Dooku in live action versus his animation, so you have a point there. Cad Bane, same thing. He's definitely lighter, but that's because his species gets lighter as they evolve. But we have a whole different situation with the Grand Inquisitor here. This is a completely different thing here, for a few reasons. Another thing people say is that the Star Wars Rebels animation is all just way off. You even look at Vader in the Rebels, he doesn't look anything like Vader in live action. Just kidding, he looks a lot like Vader in live action. They just changed kind of his face. It's the original concept art for Darth Vader in Star Wars Rebels. Dave Filoni was just trying to do something fun when he was creating Rebels, so he made Darth Vader have a kind of different look. He still looks like Darth Vader. You look at Darth Vader in Rebels and you're like, that's Darth Vader. It's not like, who is that? I don't even recognize the guy. It's Darth Vader. You know it's Darth Vader from the jump. You see him immediately and you're like, a different look, but it's definitely still Darth Vader. When you look at the Grand Inquisitor in this Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, you have to take a double take. I watched it for the first time through, and I was like, wait, was that the Grand Inquisitor? What? Was that the Grand Inquisitor? I had to rewind it a couple times because he's not even recognizable. He doesn't even look anything like he does in Star Wars Rebels at all. And again, people say that the Star Wars Rebels animation design is weird. Everything's long and skinny. Yes, I did just say that. Everything is long and skinny. Come on, give it to me. I dare you. Everything is long and skinny in Star Wars Rebels. All the lightsabers, though, if you actually look at it, are very long and skinny. They don't really look like the lightsabers do in live action. Of course, they don't even look like the lightsabers do in the Clone Wars. It's a lot different animation style, but even everybody's long and skinny, like Ezra's arms are like sticks. It's like it's an animation style. And then we won't even get started on Yoda in Star Wars Rebels. If you look at Yoda in Star Wars Rebels, yeah, you're right. Yoda looks like an idiot in Star Wars Rebels. I can't deny that. You can't. He looks stupid. None of that really matters to me. The animation style from live action to Rebels is obviously a lot different. The animation style from Ahsoka Tano to animation and Cad Bane to animation is definitely different, but those characters are recognizable. I have two major problems with the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. Again, we haven't seen his performance yet, so it could be a lot different than just this 1 second clip that we saw in the trailer, but I have two problems right away with the Grand Inquisitor. The first problem is that he does not look scary at all. We're talking about the Inquisitors that were brought into the Rebels to be this main bad guy, the main Force-using, Sith-looking bad guys, the people who just were built to look mean, scary, and like the bad guys. A lot like Darth Vader. When you see Darth Vader, you're like, that is the bad guy. There's no way that Darth Vader comes on the screen and you're like, oh, is this the protagonist? Is this guy going to save the day? All right, he does. In Return of the Jedi, I'll give you that, he does. But you see Darth Vader in A New Hope and you're not like, this is the good guy. He walks in, dun, 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 dun. He's not the good guy. He's not the good guy. You see the Emperor, he embodies evil. This is not, these characters are not built to look good. They're built to look evil. So in Star Wars Rebels, these Inquisitors are built to look evil. You look at the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and you're like, that guy's evil. You look at any of these Inquisitors, they are built to look evil. Even the new girl, Reva, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, even though she doesn't wear a mask or she doesn't whatever, she just has armor on, she looks evil. She just looks evil. She has the red lightsaber. She's got the armor. She's got the straight face. She's like, I'm going to kill you. And it comes off very well in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. You think that she is going to be a good bad guy. But then you see the Grand Inquisitor and you're like, what? This guy's going to come chasing after me? I don't think this guy's going to give us any trouble or anything. He doesn't look scary. He doesn't look evil. He doesn't look bad at all. He's got the glowing yellow eyes in Rebels. He's got the long face and the red marks going down his face. All of that is so bland in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. He doesn't have bright yellow eyes. He has the red paint on his face, but you can barely even tell. His face is all scrunched together. It's not long like it was in Rebels. This is a big problem with the Grand Inquisitor. He just doesn't look evil. He doesn't look scary. All the bad guys in Star Wars, from Moff Gideon to Darth Vader to the Emperor to Admiral Thrawn to any of them, they just look evil. All the Inquisitors in Star Wars Rebels, they look evil. That is a big, big, big miss with the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. He does not look evil at all. He does not look scary at all. The only thing that's scary about him is the difference between him and his animated character. And the second problem that I have with the Grand Inquisitor is that we have seen another one of his species in live action before. And it doesn't look anything like the Grand Inquisitor. Nothing at all. This is from Return of the Jedi. This character right here, we see Obi-Wan go up to him when he gets to Utapau, when he's looking for General Grievous to end the Clone Wars. He finds this guy. This is the same species as the Grand Inquisitor, the exact same species. Powan, whatever you want, Utapauan, whatever you want to call them, that's their species. These two people are supposed to be the same species. You cannot tell me that these people look anything alike. So there has to be a big problem here at Disney. Are they not giving them enough budget? They did it in 2005 in Revenge of the Sith. This isn't CGI'd. This character is not CGI'd in Revenge of the Sith. This is a actual real-life character that is standing in front of Obi-Wan Kenobi when he gets to Utapau. This is a real character that they've already made before. So is Disney's budget really that low in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? Literally probably the biggest show that they've made from Star Wars to date. Bigger than Mando, bigger than the Book of Boba Fett, way bigger than the Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels. This is the biggest thing that Disney made. It's probably bigger than the sequel trilogy itself. It's probably bigger than Rogue One and the Solo movie. This is the biggest thing that Disney's done to date, and you're telling me that they can't get the budget to make a good-looking Grand Inquisitor? That is a problem. That is a huge problem. And now it doesn't even matter if you like the Grand Inquisitor's appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer or you don't. This is now something of principle. This is something they've already done in live action in Star Wars before that they are just messing up badly. And it looks bad. This looks bad, Disney. It looks really bad to your hardcore Star Wars fans, as myself and a lot of other Star Wars fans that have seen the prequels over and over and over again. And this is supposed to be this big prequel thing. It's the return of Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor to the roles of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. So you're telling me that you are just going to brush aside the fact that we've already seen one of the Grand Inquisitor species in live action, and you're going to completely change the look of them. Why? We don't know. if it's really a budget issue, Disney has a huge problem on their hands, because if they can't just fork out all the money they have to this Kenobi show, they're in trouble. This is the biggest thing that they've done with Star Wars since they bought it in 2012. In 10 years, they've finally gotten to the biggest thing that they will do, or have done yet, to this moment, and you're telling me they're not going to put all their money into it to make a great-looking Grand Inquisitor. But like I said at the beginning, I absolutely loved the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. I can't wait for this show. And it sucks that there's just this one thing that Star Wars fans just completely get split on when it was such a good trailer. Oh, even all the other Inquisitors. Like, you look at them and you're like, okay, I'm getting hyped. But the leader, the Grand Inquisitor, you got to get that right, Disney. You got to get that right. And I mean, they do have 2 months. They do have 2 months to fix this. And maybe it was just a bad camera angle. The camera adds 15 pounds. I don't know how many cameras were on this guy, but it just... Does the camera shrink a face? Does the camera get rid of yellow eyes? I don't know, Star Wars fans. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I loved this trailer. And at first, when I saw the Grand Inquisitor, I didn't really have a problem with it. But again, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, is that the Grand Inquisitor? So whether you liked the Grand Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer or you didn't, you got to see that there's somewhat of a problem here. We're again splitting the fan base 50-50, and people who liked it or didn't and said that there's no problem, or there is a huge problem. Star Wars has got to get back on track, and it's got to get this fan base together. And you thought the Obi-Wan Kenobi show could do that, and I still think it could. But again, the first trailer comes out, and immediately, 50-50 split. People either love the Grand Inquisitor in the trailer or they don't. And I think we have to see his performance first to kind of judge it. But again, those big 2 things are that, first of all, he doesn't look evil or scary at all. And second of all, we've seen one of his species before in live action, and he looks nothing like it. Nothing. So I still have high hopes. Really high hopes for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Grand Inquisitor might not even play a huge role in it. He might just be in the first few episodes, and then it'll be Vader versus Obi-Wan from there on out. So maybe it's not the biggest deal if he does look terrible even when the show does come out, but it will definitely bring some Star Wars fans down. But still, we're talking Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader again. Rematch of the century. We're talking that. So tell me in the comments below, do you like the Grand Inquisitor's look in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, or do you not? And tell me, does it change things for you? Are you not looking forward to Obi-Wan anymore? Or are you looking forward to it even more? Tell me in the comments below. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in your recommended feed. And don't forget, Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming, whether you like it or not, and so is the Grand Inquisitor. So try to keep an open mind, as I am. Clearly trying to do myself, struggling, but I'm trying. And may the Force be with you, always.